Hello friends, my name is Behroz, I'm a finance executive and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will talk about how you can go about projecting confidence in the workplace. I get this question a lot. People want to know how they can improve their level of confidence, and not just improving their level of confidence, but also to project confidence to others in the workplace. So this is what we will be talking in this video today. However, before moving forward, there is one thing which is free. That is, press the like button and subscribe to the channel along with the bell icon. On this channel, I post content pertaining to career and financial success. So make sure you support this channel by liking and subscribing, as this goes a long way for me to, one, stay motivated, and second, improve the quality and the amount of content that I put on this channel. Now, before we move into the topic, I will make a separate video where I will talk about how you can go about projecting confidence in a presentation. It's a separate topic and there are separate details to it. I will cover it in a separate video. But for this video, let's start to focus on how do you go about projecting confidence in the workplace. Number one is your attire. Now, when you dress up properly, with maybe for men with a jacket and even for ladies with a jacket as well, but in a very professional way and look good. Like, not just dress properly, but also look good. Of course, when you dress properly, neatly, you will look good as well. As you look good, you just feel good inside you. It's just like giving an interview. For instance, if you give an interview, even if it's not live interview and there is no one watching you, but if you sit in your pajamas and with a t-shirt, you're more lousy. But if you sit and give an interview, and again, as I said, even if it's not a live interview, it's just on the phone, but if you're dressed up, you feel more confident. Similarly, when you dress up, you go out, you feel more confident, you feel much attractive. However, if you're lousy, if you're not in good shape in terms of how you're dressed, then you don't come across as someone who's attractive. And if you don't come across as someone who's attractive, it's difficult to project confidence. So start with your dressing. When you go to your workplace, make sure you dress neatly and you dress smartly. Second is about being knowledgeable. You need to be knowledgeable about your subject, about your area of expertise, whatever your job is. You need to be someone that people can come to for any question that they may have with regards to that area or that subject. If you're knowledgeable, only then the second step is that you start projecting confidence. Like, confidence comes from a place of you knowing things. If you don't know your thing to begin with, then it is very difficult, rather impossible, to project confidence. And this is what happens when you join a new role, your new assignment. It is better to be just in the learning mode, trying to understand everything, as against just promoting or projecting confidence. But once you understand everything, once you have the knowledge, once you know everything or most of the stuff which are under your area, then it's time for you to start projecting confidence and start talking more about what you know. But first step is for you to know what your responsibility is and be an expert in that area. Similarly, number three is, for instance, if the question is how do I go about projecting confidence in a meeting? For that, what you need to do is prepare in advance. So whatever the meeting is about, whatever that topic is about, whatever is going to happen in the meeting, if there are any pre-reads, any background, just get yourself immersed in it. Understand entirely, completely what the topic is about, and whatever your questions are, whatever your point of views are, just note them down. Have full preparation done before you come and sit in the meeting. Don't be someone who comes and sit in the meeting and has no clue about what the meeting is about, or has less clue about it. Because if you don't know much, then you would more be in the listening mode, as against trying to be in the mode of adding value. And if you're not adding value, it is hard to project confidence because you're not contributing, you're just consuming. For you to contribute, you need to prepare before you come in the meeting. Number four is active listening. It is very important that you're not someone who's just communicating all the time, but also receiving the communication. Because communication is both ways. You also have to be an active listener. Now, the reason active listening is important is, one, you project genuine interest. It is only when you show interest in other people will start showing interest in what you have to say. So first, show interest in what they are saying and listen to them and nod and look into their eyes as if you are really interested in what they're saying. It is only after you have showed interest in them that becomes easy for you to start communicating, and they will all be interested in you, because when it was their turn, you were interested in what they had to say. Another benefit of active listening is, once you listen carefully, you understand, it is only then that you can contribute, but contribute thoughtfully, which is first listen, understand what they're talking about, understand what the situation is, and then take your time, take a pause, process it, and then respond. it shows that you are someone who's thoughtful, who has thought about what they have to say as against just saying it. And then go about asking questions to show engagement. This is another way or another part of you being an active listener, which is if there is something you don't understand, then you ask questions, clarifying questions, or build on top of what they're saying just for you to make sure that you understand. And you also portray to them that you are really interested in what they're saying, and hence you're probing, hence you're asking questions. This is very, very important, especially for you to show respect to others. So when it is your turn, they show respect to you. Next one is body language. Just like attire, it is very important for you to have a body language which portrays or projects confidence. And for that, what you need to have is an active body language as against lazy body language. So even when you're sitting in a meeting or at your workplace, sit straight, sit with confidence, sit attentive as against being lazy or lousy. Don't come across as someone who's just not very active in terms of their body language. Similarly, when you're sitting in a meeting, don't sit back or lay back, rather sit actively. This will show that you are an active member of the discussion or the topic that is being talked, as against just laying down or laying back, which shows that you are not actively participating. So for you to show active participation, you need to have an active body language. Once you have active body language and active participation, you will be projecting confidence. Now, next one is about speaking clearly. This is the most critical part of you projecting confidence, which is through your communication. And hence your communication needs to be very clear. The one strong way that you can have clear communication is that you write before you speak. Now, that doesn't mean you have to write every word. At least write in form of bullets, key idea or key themes or key words or key topics that you want to highlight when you have to speak. So for instance, if you have a particular take on a subject, first write down those takes that you have. Maybe there are 3 ideas that you want to share. And then when you speak in bullets, just the way you've written them down. And it is okay for you to refer to your notes, because when you're reading through your notes, it just shows that you're someone who's thoughtful. Now, this doesn't mean that you write everything down that you have to speak and then read everything. You just write key bullets. So for instance, the example could be, I want to add with these 3 things on top of what everyone else is saying, or these are the 3 issues I have. And then you look down, you read the first issue, which is written down, and then you elaborate. So the first issue is that I disagree with this argument, and because of this. And then the second point I have is this, and then you elaborate on that. And the third point I have is just read the bullet, looking down, and then speak. This way you don't have to memorize all the things that you have to say, because those key bullets are written down here. You use your brain power to communicate clearly as against trying to remember what you have to say next. So always start with writing first and then communicating. By the way, I've made a separate video on how you can go about acing your communication at workplace. You can check out that video. I will leave a link here and also in the description of this video. Now, the next tip I have is building a network. While it is very important to focus on yourself in order for you to project confidence, however, imagine if you are in a situation or in a circle where you are familiar with everyone who's sitting around, just because you know them. Once you know everyone who's sitting around in a meeting, it becomes more easy for you to say what you have to say and project confidence. It is usually when we are in an environment which is new to us, there are people who are fresh, we don't know from before, that we feel less confident. But if there are individuals who you know very well, who you've connected before, it becomes easy for you to contribute in that workplace or in that meeting. Hence, it is very important that you build a network. You connect with everyone who is engaged in your work or has a say or a stake in your work. Build a network with them, connect with them, and build a rapport with them. So next time when all of them are in a meeting where you have to talk, where you have to share ideas or present, it is very easy for you to contribute and communicate those ideas, because everyone in the meeting is someone you've already connected with, you have a network, and they trust you. Last but not the least, and my favorite, is practice. Practice. Now, how do you go about practicing? Practice is start with something small. It can be as small as just raising your hand in a meeting and asking a question. It takes a lot of bravery to do that as well at times in certain kind of meetings. So for you to develop that confidence, try practicing in easy ways. And it could be as easy as you just asking a question in a meeting of 3 or 4 people. Next time you asking a question in a group of 10 people. After that, you asking a question in a group of 25, 50 people, and so on and so forth. So keep growing the boundaries of the challenge you give yourself. Once you conquer one challenge, just make or take the bar higher for the challenge and then conquer that one, and then take the bar higher and then conquer that one. Similarly, If you have to present, start with presenting or start with tackling smaller meetings and then start being present and more involved in bigger meetings and so on and so forth. So take it one step at a time, because even if you stumble, it is very easy for you to correct yourself and gain the confidence. But if you start with a big meeting which has high stakes and you screw something up there, then the chances are that you will shatter your confidence. So for you to hold confidence and build confidence, always start with small challenges and keep raising the bar one at a time. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this video was helpful for you to now be able to know what are those things that you have to do in order to project more confidence. If you like this video, I'm sure you like another video on my channel where I talk about why is that you are not getting promoted. You can check out that video here. Other than that, there is another video on my channel where I talk about how you can go about managing your manager, a very important skill. You can check it out here. Thank you.